Today we are talking weapons in Star Citizen, seeing what is the meta in 4.9 and why CRG seems to be falling into the same trap many other MMOs and free-to-play models seem to follow. Starting with size 1 weapons, we're just going to look for the Aurora LN since it has 4 size 1s. Now, as we click on the armament here, why I said that Star Citizen is following this like almost free-to-play model is because since the armor updates, everything has just been about alpha damage. Well, at least that's what most people seem to look at when choosing a gun. You know, because of all the armor penetration changes. Now, of course, while it is a great indicator of what weapon will work best in most cases, there are other factors at play like your ranges, your projectile speeds, which is another thing CRG changed a lot. The speeds aren't as varied. You know, everything is pretty fucking slow, if you ask me. Well, compared to what they used to be anyway. Regardless, let's find the best. Personally, I just think everyone using the same weapons in every patch is really boring. I mean, looking at just the recent few patches was attritions, then the NDBs, breaknecks, deadbolts, and now everyone's raving about the C788 cannon, which was actually my worst rated cannon just a few videos ago. Well, now it's great apparently. We'll get to the size 4s in a bit. Let's find the size 1 meta, shall we? So as usual, scatterguns will be your main damage dealers. Sledge being your sniper rifle with 3 kilometer range, but it does have a fire rate of 1 per second, which sounds a bit faster than it used to be. Is that just me? Singe, terrible weapon, I would not use that. Then the M3A, pretty decent alpha damage. Of course, it is really slow firing, which is never a good thing, though of course it is a cannon. So that's it for the alpha damage. Let's look at what actually gives us the most penetration. And that is one of my favorite weapons, the Tarantula GT870 Mark I. I wish they'd buff this thing. It really needs more alpha damage. But yeah, size 1s need love in general. As for damage per second, NDBs are still great, but that alpha damage, you're gonna need something to drop shields if you're gonna use that. I really like the NN13 cannons for size 1s. Pretty low alpha damage, but they're really good if you mix them up. And it doesn't show ammo here, but you actually get more ammo compared to, say, the M3A. Right, so if I had to choose a size 1, I would still go either full deadbolt 1s or do a mix between 50% deadbolt 1s, 50% NN13, just for fun. Why not the M3A is because numbers can be deceiving and the M3A is not as great. If we look at penetration alone, the deadbolts will give you a lot more bang for your buck. Of course, the deadbolt 1 has limited ammo, whereas the M3A doesn't, but that's fine. I like the deadbolts. I'll stick with those. Or the NN13. Just to mix it up with something that can penetrate the armor of bigger ships. And for the size 2s, I'm choosing the Reliant Tana, sorting the weapons by alpha damage first. As usual, the scatterguns and mass drivers dominate. The Singe I just don't like. Also seems like they slightly nerfed the NN14s. I mean, 762 speed really has what, 70 odd faster fire rate than the M4A, so I would still prefer it, but that's worse than the deadbolts used to be, which is really slow. Let's just have a quick glance at the DPS of everything. NDB, of course, being the weapon that will kill you fastest once the armor has dropped. That alpha damage is just horrible. Then for penetration, I still really like the SW16 BR2 Sawbuck and 10 series Greatsword Cannon. I wish they would give this thing some love, seriously. It's awesome. Right, but for which size 2 weapon I think is best, if you're fighting something small that can be penetrated, buy any size 1 or 2 weapons, I would totally say go for like 2 NN14s and 2 NDB 28 repeaters. That would be a really fun mix, and you would wreck anything in PvE and PvP. So overall, I'd actually say the NDB 28 is the best weapon, but you will have to pair it with something that can deal decent alpha damage, and if you're forced to use size 2s, get the NN14 instead of the M4A. For the size 3s, we can pick anything really, so I'm just picking my F7A Hornet, as we can check out size 3 and 4s here. But starting with 3s and sorting by alpha, which is the meta filter in 4.9. You have the mass driver, scatterguns, and cinch cannon. I really like the Predator scattergun. Just looks cool and feels right if you like using scatterguns. The dominance 1, 2, and 3 don't quite feel the same, I don't know. Then scrolling down a bit, here we see the M5A and Deadbolt 3. M5A literally having double the DPS and alpha of the Deadbolt 3. The Deadbolt 3 having more armor penetration and range. It really is a tough one because a lot of people will say just go for the M5A, unlimited ammo, but with the Deadbolt and such a fast reload time, you're killing things way faster using Deadbolts, even in 4.9 compared to the M5A. And the NN15 seems like second choice, so nothing changed there. Let's just have a look at the DPS. NDBs, no surprise. But I mean, even look at the M5A cannon's DPS, though not much higher than the NN15. So again, I would rather pick the NN15 over it. Best weapon for killing someone who has no armor, NDB 30, still super OP. As for the weapon that will penetrate armor the fastest, the tarantulas, they just need slightly more alpha damage. But yeah, overall, I'd still say Deadbolt 3s, NN15s. Those are my 2 choices for size 3. Let's now look at size 4. Right at the top, probably one of my favorite weapons of all time, AD4B. Man, used to be so good. But the one weapon everyone is talking about, the C788 cannon. Funny thing is, a few patches ago, this was the worst cannon. I did mention it in a video that it's like the best looking cannon, but the worst one. And all of a sudden, CRG went and did this. So yeah, it has the highest alpha penetration by quite a lot, but is it the best size 4 weapon? Glancing over all the numbers, and the answer seems to be yes, but I want to be sure. So there's no really a second choice here. Deadbolt, of course, I would go for that. So let me go for the argument of why Deadbolt 4 is better than the C788. More DPS, okay. Less penetration, that's not good. More than double the fire rate. Same range, more spread. And Deadbolt's got more ammo. Hate to say it, guys, Deadbolt 4 wins. It's really close, but Deadbolt 4 wins. I mean, it's really great that they made the 778 cannon so good. I've always liked it. I'll probably use it just because it looks awesome. Then again, the Deadbolt 4 looks awesome as well. They're both really solid choices for a size 4 weapon. That's actually pretty crazy. But yeah, wish CRG would give the AD4Bs just slightly more alpha damage. Anyway, finally, for the size 5s, let's just grab a Constellation Andromeda here. Sort by alpha first. Deadbolt's right at the top, followed by the M7A, and then the Omnisky. Another thing is I would also rather pick Omniskys over the M7A, M5A, all those. Because even though at first glance the stats might seem worse, it does have a faster fire rate, and the Omniskys will just take you slightly further in general. But yeah, looking at the DPS, the 85B, man, that's really poor numbers for a size 5. I mean, they need to make this thing great again. But yeah, best size 5 by far, Deadbolt 5. What are your thoughts on the meta? Do you find it boring that everyone are kind of forced to use the same thing? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to check out this video next, and thanks for watching.